A young mother killed her 4 children, aged 3 months to 6 years of age. She had no prior psychiatric history, and there was no indication that she had tried to kill herself as well. She sat quietly until her husband came home, and then allowed herself to be taken to jail and to a psychiatric hospital. At her trial, the psychiatrist for the prosecution acknowledged the probability of postpartum depression or psychosis, but noted that there was no indication that she didn't know the nature and consequences of her actions, nor that they were wrong. The defense's psychiatrist testified for only a few minutes, largely to say to the jury that no sane mother would kill her own children. But insanity can be defined as a number of behaviors. Madness has been the ideal term to define it. Insanity can be characterized by not being the part of a social norm. Insanity is a legal term pertaining to a defendant's ability to determine right from wrong when a crime is committed. It is a concept discussed in court to help distinguish guilt from innocence. But insanity defense should not be allowed in the United States because people should be held responsible for their own actions. Insanity defense is more of a theory than a scientific fact. It does not have fair retribution. Before being considered insane, criminals should go through intense psychiatric and psychological evaluations and therapy with highly qualified experts. But going back to the prior story of the mother who was supposedly insane because no sane mother would kill their own children, she knew it was wrong. She should be punished. People that could qualify for the defense have very low self-control. For someone to have self-control, they need to have control over their emotions, behavior, and desires. If someone that commits a crime is lacking self-control, then they may be questioned under insanity defense because they lack the important functions and decision-making skills that someone with more self-control would have. Alfred A. Monapert once said, "Nobody ever did, or ever will, escape the consequences of his or her choices. Everyone should be responsible for their actions." Some people believe that insanity defense is a good law. Insanity defense is not a good law because people are not being held responsible for their actions or learning from their choices. If someone makes the choice to commit a crime, whether they're mentally incapable to understand the situation or not, they need to be punished. They should be held responsible for their actions because it's not fair if they're not. Many times when someone has committed a crime and is pleading to be covered under insanity defense, it is not really proven. To prove someone is legally insane, one must demonstrate 2 main factors. First, a person must show that they do not understand the difference between right and wrong. Second, a person must demonstrate that they are not in control of their actions. Just because someone may have a serious emotional disorder does not mean that they are legally insane. Someone can be a raving lunatic but still understand what they were doing was wrong, or have the ability to control their own actions. Most people that are accused of a crime, usually a harsh and horrible crime, automatically look for an escape route. Many times, an escape route that comes to mind for criminals is insanity defense. This defense only works a few times out of 100 times. It is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. Once a person is found not guilty by reason of insanity, they are placed in a mental institution. If insanity defense were to continue being used in as escape route by criminals, then the rate of repeated criminals would rise. When criminals are announced as legally insane, they will be put into mental institutions. They will not be let out until doctors and specialists agree that the person is cured. This may never happen. There have been instances where a defendant facing a maximum sentence of 5 or 10 years was found not guilty by reason of insanity. The person ends up serving the rest of their life in a mental institution.